Now the son was Lok, a master of his trade. He sharpened the axes with meticulous care and prepared the wheel with sinister precision. No delinquent, be it a thief, a murderer, a thorn in the side of the patricians, or a heretic, escaped his cruel art, which he performed with dark passion.
He spun the chain of torture until even the muse screamed. Tortured bodies confessing crimes at the behest of lords and clerics. He usured the blood of the guilty, boasted of his murderous craftsmanship, but he did not see himself as a minion of the bloody will of the powerful, but as a righteous man among the righteous. To the bloodthirsty crowd he was a hero. His work, a spectacle of torture, a folk festival, a grotesque dance of death. And when the condemned man confessed his sins before the mob, hoping to find a gentle death and no painful end, there was a roar of jubilation that echoed to the stars. In his dark soul burned a fanatical belief that he was not the tool of the lords of the city, but the servant of God himself. I am the sword of heaven, he said, the enforcer of the justice of the merciful God. A dark cloak of arrogant self-deception covered his cursed acts of inhumanity. For him, every witch burned, every heretic against the order of his masters killed, was proof of his zeal for paradise and the true faith. Purgatory is their test, and I am the messenger that leads them there. So he spoke, who fancied himself the master of death, but was only a humble slave to cruel lords. Not only through the blood of the condemned, but also with the limbs, he believed he could perfect the work of the god of the dead with a grotesque healing art. The dark times offered him space to feed the superstition of the ignorant. An arm, a leg, the heart, the brain, everything found its place in his ointments. From the marrow of the damned, the ashes of the burnt, he brewed potions. Only a useless descent into the deepest abysses of man's contempt. The streets filled with the proud citizens who in their need came to the despised and dishonored. His house a gloomy sanctuary of doom, a temple of dead flesh. But not only the simple-minded mob visited his home, the noble patricians also knocked on his door in their darkest hour, to be healed of their ailments by the wretched man. Whispering from the maelstrom of the eons, the voices of the forgotten resound, calling from the shadow-born abysses of eternal madness. Long since sunk in the stream of time, where past suffering lurks.
The hangman, proud of his bloody work in the service of the lords of the city, saw himself as the creator of unique works of art made of pain and death, as indispensable and blessed by God, as a beacon of executed justice, whose creativity delighted the people and the patricians, whose unique healing powers extended life itself.
May the noble lords give me the freedom of the city, he humbly begged, and make me an honorable man as my deeds deserve. But the patricians, full of mockery, laughed in their magnificent halls. The bloody cloth, they said secretly with scorn, shall serve us while it is fresh, and be thrown away when it is worn. But the lowly fool may not recognize the truth. So the gentleman gave him the vague hope of newly acquired respectability in the distant future. His belief in the favor of the powerful, a mirage that accompanied him through the years, was nothing but dust in the wind, a vain hope that would never be fulfilled. Even those few who secretly felt respect for the father despised him.
The years passed, and the curse of age also befell the murder of so many. So even those who once feared him laughed at him as a grotesque relic.
The lords of the city, who no longer needed his services, decided without mercy on his fate in the mighty way. Away with him, said the council, we no longer need the old man. A younger one shall not wield the axe at our behest. They took away his house, his blood-earned possessions, and threw him out of the city like a worn-out rag, driven out without dignity like a mangy cur. Destitute, ill and abandoned by all, he finally realized the unyielding truth. He wanted the land as a curse and being damned by his own actions, until he finally met his end at his own hand. but no paradise awaited him, no reward for his godly work, as the lords and priests had once preached to him. Instead he joined the choir of the damned for all eternity.